Come to order. The meeting of the Madison County Board of Commissioners will now come to order. Today's date is April the 19th, 2021. The time is 6 p.m. We're meeting at the Madison County Agricultural Extension Office Auditorium on 309 North Parkway, Jackson, Tennessee. Commissioner Wall, I believe you have the invocation.
Yes, I have Dr. Paul Jackson joining us tonight to offer our invocation and pledge. Dr. Jackson, if you come on up, please. Dr. Jackson has been, he's a great friend for many years, and he's a professor of biblical studies at Union University. He's also a writer. He's published 2 books and is actually working on 2 more. Among many other attributes, he is also an effective leader in church operations, ministries, and programs. Internationally, he has established and maintained excellent foreign interpersonal relationships through his many mission trips to Russia, Mozambique, and Pakistan. He has also served our local area as interim pastor of over 24 churches, along with leading numerous Bible study conferences and revivals. I present to you Dr. Paul Jackson to the commission this evening.
Was that about me? Well, thanks so much, Jeff, for inviting me here tonight. It's a privilege to be in front of such an austere group of people. I think that's a good word. A couple of years ago, my father-in-law died just about a week ago, 2 years, 2019. He went to be with the Lord. He was from Arkansas. And I brought to the funeral a story, it was a pretty sad story, out of Arkansas. I want to share it with you too. In light of all of the death and turmoil that we have been experiencing this past year, especially, I think this hits home. As a guitarist, I played many gigs. Recently, I was asked by a funeral director to play at a graveside service for a homeless man. He had no family or friends. So the service was to be at a pauper cemetery in the back country. I was not familiar with the backwoods. I got lost. I finally arrived an hour late and saw the funeral guy had evidently gone and the hearse was nowhere in sight. There were only the diggers and the crew left and they were eating lunch. I felt badly and apologized to the men for being late. I went to the side of the grave and I looked down and the vault lid was already in place. I didn't know what else to do, so I started to play. The workers put down their lunches and began to gather around. I played out my heart and soul for this man with no family and friends. I played like I've never played before for this homeless man. As I played Amazing Grace, the workers began to weep. They wept, I wept, we all wept together. When I finished, I packed up my guitar and started for my car. Though my head hung low, my heart was full. As I opened the door to my car, I heard one of the workers say, "I have never seen nothing like that before, and I've been putting in septic tanks for 20 years. Apparently, I'm still lost. Just a real quick word. I am working on a couple of other books. One of those is a Greek dictionary. There's nothing more exciting than writing a dictionary, let me tell you. Those Greeks have a different word for everything. One word I ran across is pretty interesting, and I think it can say a good word to us today in the midst of a time when there's not a lot of agreement on many things. But there's the word armion, which is the word for lamb. And in fact, it could be little lamb. It shows up 30 times in the Greek New Testament. Only one time does it show up outside of the book of Revelation. And that one time is in the Gospel of John. Chapter 21, Jesus is speaking with Peter. They're having a conversation after the resurrection. And Jesus asks him 3 times, "Do you love me?" I think it was to think about the 3 times he denied him. After Peter responds the 3rd time, Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." So if you go to the book of Revelation, and you got 29 more times. So you start through, you got 12 times, there's the word for Lamb, referring to the Lamb of God. Then you get to chapter 13, and you've got an occurrence there where there's a lamb, a creature that looks like a lamb, but he has two horns, and he speaks like a dragon. And we know who that is. That's the beast. And then after that, you got 14 more times that this word occurs. So you see what John is doing, and it fits right with the book of Revelation's message. And if everybody wants to know what that is, so they ask you, what does it mean? God wins. Satan, the beast, is right in the middle. 12 references before, 14 afterwards. When I was looking at it, for some reason I thought about Denzel Washington. Not that he was in the middle, but I love me some Denzel Washington. I don't know about you. So you watch some Denzel, you have him as the best actor in the whole universe. Have you ever seen Training Day? He's a bad guy now. But you know what happens to him at the end? And after he spends all this time wreaking havoc on people, being duplicitous, a cheat, a liar, even to his own people, he finally has his day where his gig is up. You don't get in Dutch with the Russian mob for $1 million and get off easy. Comes to a stop sign, Russians come around him, come out with ski masks and machine guns, and just obliterate Denzel. It was a sad moment for me. But it made me think about that's where Satan's headed. He's having his day right now. One of these days the gig is up. And so no matter what happens from here on out or any time, God's going to win.
Yes.
And this is all over with, all the suffering, the death, the sorrow, the pain, the COVID, the God-forsaken masks. God will win, and everything will be as it should be with the Lord. Let's pray. Father, thanks so much for allowing us all to be here tonight, and we appreciate you being in this place, and pray that you would take control of the meeting, that you would be in these people's hearts, and that you would guide their thoughts, their actions, and orchestrate as a group here, as a unit, to accomplish even more good things for the city of Jackson. Lord, we thank you for so many blessings that are ours, even sometimes in the form of sickness and trouble and even in death, as we know that death triggers ultimate healing. So as being your children, we know that we don't really have anything to fear. We belong to you. We are yours forever. Be with us, Lord, I pray. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, the roll call.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Arnold.
Yes.
Beckham.
Yes.
Brantley.
Here.
Brown Claudel.
Here.
Brown Scott. Bryan.
Here.
Bush.
Here.
Fleet.
Here.
Compton.
Here.
Deaton. Ellison.
Here.
Gobbles.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Hampton Pearson.
Here.
Johnson Arthur.
Here.
Johnson Barber.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Mercer.
Here.
Montague.
Here.
Teddy.
Here.
Spearman. Stevenson.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Wall.
Here.
23 present, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a majority here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
So moved.
We have a motion, second. Any
Thank you.
All those in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Passes. Mr. Mayor, the presentations by you.
We have two tonight, Mr. Chairman. We've got Elaine Christian with the Bicentennial Committee, and then we've got Donna Harris with the library that's going to make a presentation.
You guys know, but we are about to have a celebration in Jackson, Madison County. And who better to help us think of why it's important for us to celebrate is the drum line. Dr. King from Northside, band director Jared Nobles from Liberty, band director Joshua Hayes, here to represent our school. 200 years of history and growth and living and dreams in Jackson, Madison County. We're about to celebrate that. And I'm so proud to be here. I'm Elaine Christian, and I'm so honored to be co-chair of the Bicentennial along with Mayor Harris and Mayor Conger, and I'm really honored to be involved. We hope to honor our 200 years in an inclusive way that engages all the citizens and leaves a legacy for future generations. So we've got a couple of things on the screen. The first thing we'll talk about are just, and I'm only going to, this is brief, I'm not going to be here very long. We have some signature events that are going to kick this event off, and then we have activities. So we actually start our year-long celebration August the 14th with the celebration downtown focusing on our culture and our heritage. And then on October 9th, we're going to, our West Tennessee, Jackson, Madison County, our essential heritage to begin with was agriculture. And the West Tennessee Ag Research Center is going to do some reenactments and just talk about the old days. So we're excited about that event. The county's birthday celebration, the county's birthday is November the 7th, but we're holding the celebration. You all will get a special invitation, more information to come about how we're going to do that. That's going to be both at the NED as well as at the courthouse. We have a time capsule to open, and we have a 200-voice choir that's going to celebrate the musical heritage of our community. And then we're going to finalize this celebration August the 13th of 22. So the next slide is our monthly theme. So over the course of the year, we're going to have recognizing special things each month. And starting with our musical heritage, I won't read all these to you, arts and culture, our education, agriculture, all the way down. We'll have events targeting those special areas every month. and then capping it off in August with the final celebration. And I do want to say that every aspect that we have planned for this event is celebrating Jackson and Madison County. That's the way our committee's approaching it, and that's the way we will continue to approach it. We have developed a logo, and the logo's a little bit unique. Those columns on the top are supposed to represent the bridges over the Forked Deer River, and those of you who know our history, and I know you all do in this room, settlers came in. There were no roads. They came in on paths, they came in on flat-bottom boats, and they moved here with their dreams about making a better life for them and their family. So we have this logo that you will be starting to see as we start to kick our events off. And then, did you go all the way down? Okay. And then Eric Turner's here, and Eric's helping us plan something. Leadership Jackson alumni is helping us plan something. But we want to take this celebration out into Milt's back there. Milt's helping us plan this to all reaches of the county. We have selected 12 different sections of the county to have cultural heritage days. Kind of like they can bring people home, have a homecoming, have some event in their community, and make it unique about those different communities out. And I bet that'll represent virtually every commissioner that's in the room will be looking at their districts as well. We have a wonderful committee. I'll just mention a couple of people. Dr. Ken Newman is back here. He is your newest school board member, and he's chairing our education program, and he had made the arrangements for bringing in the drum line tonight. So Ken, thank you. Commissioner Trey Cleek, who's also my son, is heading up the time capsule committee. Lonnie Harris is working with us on the art, and we're doing several things along that with developing a park in downtown. I'd read this list, but it's so long. We've got over 50 volunteers already, and we have just started this process. And by the time these events go on, everybody in the county, we hope, knows about them and participates with them. The mission for our organization is to celebrate Jackson and Madison County 200 years of history, allowing its future to be even greater. And you know, when I stop and think about this as a grandmother, a mother, and a grandmother, I want to leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. And I know you're here because you serve the community, and I know that's what you're about as well at the County Commission. So I hope that you'll ask me back so I can keep telling you what we're going to do and give you more information. But Jimmy asked me to come, and Jimmy, thank you. I just wanted to just share just a few remarks about we're going to start kicking this off. And I also want to say Brandon Shields is here, and he's helping us with marketing. We've got a lot of people involved, and we're looking for more. So I appreciate being able to speak to you all, and thank you so much. Jimmy, thank you.
Also happens to be chair of the library board. So I'm going to let her say something first there. All right, let her, yeah.
Okay, got to switch my hats. And I love to talk library. We didn't plan this, but since I'm here, I have been on the library board. I'm completing my 9th year and have been the chair for the last 5. And what Donnie's going to talk about is our study that we just did, looking at the future, the long-range strategic plan. And this was our due diligence of looking forward. We've always tried to use the resources that we are given and allocated from our funding bodies, from the city and county. We've always tried to manage those to the best of our ability. And we've also tried to be very accountable to our governing bodies for the use of those funds. We're very diligent about that. And I also want to recognize Ms. Katie Brantley, who has been the liaison from the County Commission for many years, and Ms. Barbara Johnson, who is actually on our Board of Trustees, and their efforts that they've done. I think of looking at several of you, we've had conversations over the years about how to make our library better and stronger. And our board feels like that the library is important. It's the home for the 100%. If you're young, if you're old, any socioeconomic level, all people are welcome and benefit from the library. We're really proud of this study. Dinah and her staff worked hard. We're really proud of Dinah. Dinah has brought so much integrity to our library and accountability to our library. And we're wanting to move this library forward to improve this community. And Donna, I appreciate all you do. We appreciate what you do for us. Thank you so much.
If y'all don't mind, I think I'm gonna stand here because I'm a librarian. Can y'all hear me over there? I'm serious. I used to teach, but I haven't taught in several years, and so it's like, my boys think I'm hollering when I talk this loud, you know. So I did want y'all to know about this study because y'all are, our funding body, and we're very excited about it. Back in 2017, we realized that we were out of space, and if we didn't have more space, we weren't going to be able to keep growing and adding programs and for our kids. So we called in a couple of people. They gave us their opinion, and we decided we needed something on paper, a professional. So the library board researched and found Anders Dahlgren of Library Planning Associates, and he came in and he made several visits, talked to me, my staff, my board, and had groups, meetings with the community. Some of y'all attended those. Had a group of business people, a group of seniors, a group of people from South Jackson, a group of people from North Jackson, a group of teenagers. We tried to reach all the people to get their opinion of what they wanted to see the library become. So after he had all these meetings, and he also met with Mayor Harris and many other, what you would call important people in the community to see what they saw as well. And when it was all said and done, then he took data. The library fills out a form every year called the data collection. You can actually see it on the website for the Institute of Museum and Library Services. All the libraries across the nation have the reports there. And he took our data and compared it to other libraries of our size within so many like 150 miles, I think was the first one he did, and then he expanded it to a 300-mile radius. He did 2 or 3 different types just to see where we compare. So at the end of the day, what he came up with, inside the long-range plan that you have there, is a sheet that gives you a summary of his study. And this study, these recommendations are not top. They're not the ones for the libraries from the north that, put a lot of money into the libraries. But this is also not the bottom either. This is kind of a medium recommendation. So what he said we needed, you can read it, was more space for books by 38%. And I wanted to tell you, we still check out 20,000 items a month at the library. And we check out 8,000 e-items, like e-books and audiobooks. And that's every month. We need space to expand technology. We have about 65 or 70 stations. We need 95 or 100. We need reader seating, increased by 171%. We have approximately 99 seats right now in both locations total, both facilities. And we need like 244. And that's not an exaggeration. Y'all that have been in the library, you know the seats are full. And yes, it is people that sometimes are not using the library as a library, but the library's 3 focus are literacy, technology, and community. And the library is a community hub. So many of the people that come in there are looking to be a part of the community. And they come in there and they get a smile and they get a friendly word. And we try to help them. We have GED classes at the library. I saw a need for AA. AA meets at the library now. And we try to bring things there that will make them have a better life. And we all know that the better life that other people have, the more it affects us, because it makes our community better. The meeting room space needs to be increased by 600%. The data for 2018-19, we're not going to count 2020 because that almost didn't exist. But our last full year, we had 18,491 people that were on paper that attended a meeting or a program at the library in the 1 year. So it's a great need, and we need study rooms. People want little spaces they can go in and meet with somebody else, collaborate, and have a very quiet space to study. So the main library, he says, needs to be increased from 30,000 square feet to 65,000. The North Branch from 3,850 to 12,000. And that's, like I said, a very medium estimate there. And it definitely is a great need. For the future, we need to be looking at increased space for collaboration and use of technology. He recommended the division of our resources be 80/20 for our main library and our north branch. But we can consider other configurations, you know, and he told us to consider that when we decide what we need for the future. We could have more books, less meeting rooms, consolidate everything into one facility, or open a second branch. And that will come out as we proceed. And whether to expand at the present site, or expand the branch at the present site, or build something new, or convert an existing structure, all that, we don't have the answers yet, but we will as we work through the strategic plan. And that's what the booklet is. Now, the board spent quite a bit of time and really a lot of thought into this. And what I want you to look at is just number 5. The very last page, it says, what is our vision, future vision for the library and its facilities? They've already started down this process, and we've already done number 1 and 2. So we're on number 3. We've employed an architect to analyze our current building and recommend a design based on the data, and to clarify our authority to expand or construct with our funding bodies. And that's where we're at right now. And we do have someone looking at our footprint that we own and telling us what we can do with that. And my board will be coming to y'all in the future with a recommendation. And I can assure you that when they do come for you, they have thoroughly, like she said, done the due diligence, believe me, at researching it to see what is the most feasible plan for us going forward. But the library is a place that changes lives. I'm very passionate about it because it's changed my life. I grew up in rural West Tennessee, rural Henderson County, like the mayor did, and the library, it was where I learned many things by reading, because we didn't have what y'all have here in Jackson with the arts. We didn't have that there at all. So I learned so much by reading, and reading has changed the way I look at things, the way I look at people. The meetings we've had in the library where people came and talked and told us about their books, that's changed the way I see people, the way I have compassion. And technology, that's changed all of us. You know, when I went to earn my degree for library science, I had to use the computers to find a library school that was actually accredited, you know, by the American Library Association. And then I went to school online and sat at the computer 2 nights a week in a live classroom. So all of those things have changed me, and I know that they're changing other people as well, because I'm not a unique situation. And that's what we do every single day at the library, is we work on changing lives and helping people to have a better life. And I sincerely appreciate all the support y'all have given the library since I've been there. It speaks highly of this community. When you fund your library, which, like Elaine said, is the place of 100%, it's the place where an average citizen can go and get information that makes them wiser and more able to make a good decision when they go to the polls to vote and everything. And so it speaks highly of y'all that you fund that for your citizens, and I sincerely appreciate it very much. And like I said, we'll be coming back to you in the future and letting you know what the next step is, but thank y'all for giving me time to share that. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any, but I know you probably won't hurry up to go home tonight.
One key question, I'd like to applaud you on this aggressive initiative to try to prepare for, provide a greater service to us, and we appreciate you so much. And it's not making a share or making an assumption. I'm sure you noted that friends, partners,
I can't understand, thank you.
and notice that you noted in the book that friends, partners, and trustees I'm sure these recommendations involving also interest shown or expressed by patrons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all those community meetings that we had, we invited our patronage to come to those, and we had 8 or 10 groups that ended up coming. And like I said, some of the commissioners even came to it. I sent you all an invitation. And by the way, I am sending y'all an email every month with a copy of the director's report. Hopefully you're getting it. I think you are. Sean's responded. So hopefully everybody else is getting it as well. So if you would, please read that, because it's going to keep you up to date on the wonderful things that we are doing to help people have a better life in Madison County.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you to both of you. Thank you, Mayor. Do you have anything else now?
Not now.
Dr. King, you're next.
Good evening, everyone. I think I'll piggyback off of what Dinah said, and it's important that you all know this as a community and the county commission. The support from you all, and I think she said it best, you don't find this everywhere. I've been in 2 systems, and the support that I've received from this commission, this community, it's not found, you all, and I don't know if you all are aware of that, but I want to share that with you all. I'm already an energetic person, but the support that you all give, it gives me even more energy just to say, do the right thing, keep making the people really proud of the work. And I think what Dinah said was really important, and you all need to know that, and I certainly appreciate it. When you have a commission and everybody reaches out to you, when they talk to you about supporting schools, you just don't find that. So I just want to say thank you all, give you a little update on where we are with schools. We are in the 3rd quarter of spending. We should be at 75%. We're only at 66%. So we are watching very closely what we're doing in terms of spending. As I shared earlier in the month, that we want to present a 3% raise for teachers in this budget. We want to focus on a strong academic program, athletic program, as well as the arts. In order to do that, we have to have an infrastructure in place for that. And it's salaries for teachers, safety, and also support. We have to make sure our buildings are safe. We have to make sure that we have safety protocols and the infrastructure to make sure that when parents send kids to school, their children to school, that they go back home safe. So that's so important. And so we're looking at our budget. We plan to, we received our ESSER 2.0, $16 million already. We will prioritize those activities and we'll begin to roll those out. With ESSER 3.0, $37 million, what we're wanting to do is build our fund balance. So we're eliminating positions on our general purpose side, putting it on federal program side to use the ESSER 3.0 dollars. We'll see what those positions look like after the next couple of years to determine if they're going to be put back on 141. We want to build our fund balance. We probably would end this year around 14 million. We were projected to end at 11 million. But we're trying to build that up to at least have 2.5 months of expenditure in our rainy day fund just for safety. With ESSER 3.0, again, our focus is going to be on safety, but also we're going to have a strong focus on literacy. We plan to put a paraprofessional in every kindergarten and 1st grade classroom to help with our literacy initiative, as we think that is the crux of learning. And when we improve our literacy achievement rate, I think we're going to see a dramatic change in our educational landscape. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Dr. King. Ms. Bell?
I'll make it short and sweet tonight because I'm driving and the computer and talking. So the first thing I want to bring your attention to, as I do every month, is the fund balance of where we are. I know that we approved a fund balance policy, so we committed to showing you the percentages of where we stand. If you remember, that fund balance policy was 15%. Right now we stand at about 10.8 million with about 21.43%. Also want to call your attention to the total amount of budget amendments that have been done through this year that are drawn fund balance, almost 1.8 million. And again, as we work toward effectively better budgeting, I think that we'll see the amount of fund balance budget amendments go down on that. The second thing that I'd like to draw your attention to tonight is, and I was requested by the comptroller, you may have heard Commissioner Stevenson has talked about adding a penny to the solid waste fund this next year, as well as juvenile court services, a half penny. The reason I want to bring your attention to that is because that was one of the notations in our budget letter that was sent back, and I want to show you where we are year to date on that, as far as that we are in the negative on that, and that's the one that we do have to do tax anticipation notes every year on, so that's the reason we're looking at additional funding on that. All of you should be receiving the weekly emails that I'm sending out as soon as I get information about the federal funding. Still no directives. Last week, the only thing we got was you need an EIN number, which we have, you need a SAMS registration number, which we have, and a DUNS number. So again, as I get more information, I will communicate that to you on a weekly basis. On our finance director's report, you should see that the sales tax is still about 7% over prior year. We're also breaking out now the online sales tax and sending that with our report. So if you have any questions, be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Excuse me,
All right.
make sure I clearly understood that.
You said that our sales tax is still 7% over
7%
last year,
over prior year. Yes, sir.
with all this going on.
With all this going on. Yes,
God
sir.
is good.
It
God
is.
good.
Yes.
All right, we're ready for item 7, report from county officials standing in special committees and any old business and action thereon by the board. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of Commissioner Mercer and myself, we wish to congratulate the board of the Conservation Committee, consisting of President Milt Canavan, who is here, Milt will stand, and Freddie Garrett, Vice President, and David Smith, who is Secretary, Mandy White, and Richard Watson. I wish to present to you tonight their selection of the new County Parks and Recreation Director, and that's Mr. Chris Garrett, he's standing right here. A little history about Chris is he's a seasoned Parks and Recreation leader for over 25 years in the industry, serving with commercial, state, and city, county segments. He has extensive experience in program design, land management, team operations, event production, and building partnerships in the communities he serves. Most recently, he led the development and execution of all outdoor recreation programming for the Parks and Recreation System in Nashville, Tennessee. While in this role, he managed 2 parks with 4,200 acres combined, 25 miles of hiking and mountain bike trails, kayak and canoe programs, a primitive campground, and the operation of 2 nature outdoor centers. His previous experience also includes serving in the landscape, juvenile correction, and commercial recreation areas. Chris has served on the Tennessee Recreation and Parks Association Board of Directors as chair and Ways and Means Committee and chair of the membership committee for 6 years combined. He has provided leadership at the local Cub Scout Pack and the Boy Scouts of America. And Chris started his college career at UT Martin, but later graduated from Middle Tennessee State University with a degree in Parks and Recreation, emphasis on outdoor recreation and physical education. Outside of the office, Chris enjoys traveling, kayaking, watching LSU football, and spending time with his wife and 10-year-old son. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Mr. Chris Garrett. Chris, step up here just a minute. Go ahead and say what you said.
I just want to say thank y'all for this opportunity. Plan on serving the community. I want to make sure that everybody knows what we offer. That is one of the things that I've met people who didn't know we had mountain bike trails, and the programs that go along with it are riding arena, that we've got a program this coming Saturday, starts at 5, so if you're looking for something to do, come on out. I'll be there, say hey. And I just want to make sure that our community knows what we offer. And that's what my main goal is going to be right now.
Any questions?
There's one thing that bothered me.
LSU fan. Still the Southeastern Conference there. So y'all join me as well.
Anything else, Harold? Right, any other report from committees?
Mr. Chairman, Ed Vision this month got to have a unique meeting where we had Dr. Catlett chauffeur us around in a school bus all morning, and we all didn't survive. But I wanted to bring to the commission that we got to put eyeballs on various projects going on that the school system is doing right now. And as Dr. King just mentioned, they're at about 66% of their spend, but what they're doing with the ESSER money and the return that I believe that we're going to get on that is nothing short of phenomenal. We were able to ride the zone lines that JCM is going to incur, and also the zone lines for the Madison Community Montessori, and actually see that and see the houses, see the families that those projects are going to affect. We were able to go down to Melissus and see what our great maintenance crew at the school system with Mr. Mann have been able to accomplish out there in turning that facility into what's going to be for the cyber school social meeting spot, as well as the staff development center that's going to be down there. I mean, if you would have walked in that building a year ago to now, it's not even close. You know, we were able to also go and see what's being done at the Workforce Development Center, and to me, that is probably the most important piece that we've got going right now. In West Star, I've been able to go all over West Tennessee, and I see what some of these other systems have. I've been in Dyer County and Lauderdale County, and the CTE and those programs that other rural areas are providing right now. What we're doing at Workforce Development is going to actually bring us to a level playing field with some of the smaller systems around West Tennessee. And we got to just keep an eye on that, but you know, I just want to bring that to you guys that we've seen this. Several commissioners were on the trip, and I know the week before they actually went and took a look at Madison and at JCN and the progress that's going on there. But if anybody has any further questions about those, please reach out to me. I know Commissioner Wall, Commissioner Arnold were all on those trips, and we'd be happy to talk about any of those things. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, as chairman of the Cable and Communications, you know we've been working for this last year trying to get cable into the rural areas of Madison County. And so I had heard from Billy Gordon, who's over that program, and we had met, and he wanted us to vote on some things so that we could make Madison County a community ready for cable, and we did that. And so I talked with him today, and he was so excited because he said, I've been meaning to call you, but he said they've already built a substation out in East Madison County, and they are also going to start this next month in May putting cable in the rural areas. And he said if we had asked for a grant, but some little county somewhere that I should remember the name, but I don't. But they got the grant and we didn't. But he said Southwest is going to put $10 million into this cable for Madison County, and it will cost us 0 cents. So just wanted to let you know that they're going to start next month, and I'm excited, and I know a lot of other people who live in the county are also. And then the other thing I want to say, I'm on the library board, and I haven't done a very good job this year because I didn't want Corona. But anyway, I didn't want to date with Corona. But Dinah she is the greatest librarian I've ever met, and I've known a lot of them in school. And her mind just runs all the time. What can I think of? What can I think of? And so she's just great. And when they gave me a form to fill out on how she's doing, I just put above and beyond on every question. Above and beyond, above and beyond. She's great. She's so good. And she's always thinking of new ideas and things. So one of the things, I think I've told y'all about this before, but if you need a saw to cut something just for one day or a week, you don't have to go out and buy one. I think they've got a saw. I know they have lots of things there that you can call and find out if you can go and check them out. So I don't know, Dinah, do y'all have a saw? But she is great. She is great. I've never seen her get angry or frustrated with anybody. She just holds it in, and she's so kind. She's so kind. And then Elaine, she is a great chairman too. But every once in a while, she just comes to us on Zoom or something because she loves to go to other countries. And I don't blame her for anyone.
Any other committee reports, Doug?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One report from the Insurance Committee. We met earlier this month. Our fund balance is $2,110,071.44. So we're maintaining a pretty good fund balance right there. Our medical insurance, the committee We got a report from Warren Smith that our insurance was being increased by about 2% for the entire amount, and we're going to fund that. We made a committee recommendation to fund that by the county, so fully by the county, which would be $134,000. Dental and vision would be at no increase whatsoever. The reinsurance increase was 8%, or $71,870. The stop loss deductible will remain at $100,000, and I believe Karen was signing this contract. My information was she was signing this contract today, so just want to make that report, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bush.
The Highway Committee did not meet this month, but I did have a couple of items that I wanted to bring to the commission. First, there's several road projects going on right now, and I know a lot of you probably heard from some of your constituents about that, so I wanted to ask Superintendent Walls to just give a report on those projects that are going on and kind of give us a timeline for completion.
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity to share the status of our county road right now. You know, on March 27th and 28th, we experienced about 6 inches of rain in Madison County and damaged about at least 24 different places on our county road system. 4 of those were complete washouts, which means the road was completely washed in two and was impassable. There were a couple of vehicles that drove off into a couple of those locations. I don't believe there were any serious injuries, but those things are dangerous. We have been working very diligently to try to get all of those places repaired and all of those roads back open. It actually ended up being 6 roads being closed before it was all said and done. We have 3 of those back open right now. Of the 3 that are not open, Wildy Road is probably the next one that will be opened back up. We're waiting on JEA to get a water line temporarily relocated there, and I've been in discussions with them today, and they're going to be getting on that here pretty soon. The other 2 roads are Bowman Road and Mandy Road. Those are pretty significant culverts, and we have already started some work on Bowman Road, prepping that site for the equipment that we're going to have to get in there to replace that pipe. We're going to be putting in a railroad tanker shell in place of the culvert that was at that location, about 8.5 feet in diameter, 1/2 inch steel, so we've got to bring in a crane to lift that into place and get it set. We've also contracted with Geostabilization International, which is a contractor off of the Tennessee statewide contract, to construct new wire basket head walls at that location and as well at the Mandy Road site. So not only are we just replacing the pipes, but we're taking the opportunity to replace them in such a way that they are going to withstand much more water, and they're going to last a whole lot longer than they did last time. The Mandy Road site, it did receive damage and wash out at least partially in 2010. So, 10 years, 11 years later, same site's washed out again. So we're taking this opportunity. This is our chance to fix it right, and so that's what we're doing. We're taking the time, we're spending the money, and we're going to repair Mandy Road and Bowman Road the way that it needs to be repaired so that it lasts, hopefully, a couple more superintendents after myself. We have about half of the damaged sites repaired, and we're steadily knocking that list down every day. I believe that this storm is going to be declared by FEMA as a natural disaster. We had FEMA in last week. I got the opportunity to take a FEMA representative around and show them some of the locations. My estimation of the cost of the damages that we have here in Madison County was about $365,000. When you add in the new head walls that I'm planning on constructing at the Bowman Road and the Mandy Road site, we're probably gonna be spending close to $600,000 and, or a little less than that. And Finance Director Karen Bell is going to be bringing a budget amendment from the floor later on to take money from our highway fund and put it into our budget so that we can self-finance our own recovery efforts so that we're not hurting while we're waiting on money from FEMA to come in, which can take quite a long time. I think that was about all I wanted to cover. The Bowman Road and Mandy Road sites. We're already prepping both of those sites. Next week, foundations will be going in for the head walls at both of those locations. First at Bowman Road, second at Mandy. Then the week after, the head walls will be constructed at Bowman, and then the week after that, the head walls will be constructed at Mandy. The tanker shell is going to be delivered tomorrow, fingers crossed, at Bowman Road, but the pipe for Mandy is not going to be delivered until probably about 2 weeks from now. They had to manufacture the pipe and ship it, so it's taking a little longer to get it, so that's why we're doing Bowman Road first instead of Mandy. Mandy probably has a little more traffic on it than Bowman, but since we could get the pipe first at Bowman, we're going to go ahead and take care of Bowman. Any questions about any of that? Thank you.
The other matter we had in January, the commission approved allowing the highway department to do some exploratory work on airport property regarding repair of some sinkholes. I believe that work, the exploratory work's been completed, but we need to vote now to allow the highway department to go in there and repair those sinkholes. And the airport is going to reimburse fully the highway department for the cost of that. So I'd move to suspend the rules so we can take that up.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Alexander seconded it. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, all right.
And I would move that the commission authorize the highway department to repair the sinkholes on the airport property and that the airport will reimburse for the cost of that.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Who made the second? Commissioner Wall, all right. All in favor? Is there any questions or comments on this? All those in favor say yes. Yes. Any opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Any other committee reports?
The Excess Resale Property Committee met a few weeks ago, and I've got 6 different properties that we need to get body approval on. The first one is 30 Wisteria for $2,000.
We have a motion by the committee chair. We don't need a second. Is there any questions on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It's approved.
The second one is 341 Lexington Street for $1,500.
All right, we have a motion and there's no second required. Any questions on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
The third is 154 Linden Street, $1,817.18.
All right, we have another recommendation. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
The fourth is 158 Linden Street, $1,308.05.
All right, we have the motion. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
The fifth is 33 Holland Avenue for $2,803.47.
All right, questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
And finally, 629 Whitehall for $1,889.79.
All right, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
That's all I have.
That's all. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, we have a lady here that wanted to speak to us. I think she's Miss Donnell, McDonald's wife. But I'm not sure, it's been a long time since I've seen her, so anyway. Where is she? The lady that talked to me about wanting to.
Yeah. My name's Roseanne Donald, and my husband was the county commissioner at one time, and most of you spouses know what that's like. Your spouses understand what it's like to be at home answering the phone. What I wanted to talk to you about tonight is this room, this ag auditorium. I have a vested interest in this ag auditorium because I not only am a farmer's wife and a farmer's mother and a farmer's daughter, but I also worked for as the officer in the election precinct from Spring Creek for over 20 years. So I have been to meetings here. Where we have most recently been very crowded, not enough room for the people to come in and be trained. I've been here when there's early voting and there's no room for people to park. People will park, if they come to early vote, they're going to find a place to park. They're going to find a place to park whether it is part of this facility or anything that is adjoining it. The building over on this side was built at the same time because there was a desire to have all the agricultural agencies in one location, more or less a one-stop, so that people could come. And so Federal Land Bank, Production Credit, they have a building over here, and then later Farm Bureau built a building over there. And then we have all the agencies, and the name of this complex is the Ag Complex. The name of this auditorium is the Ag Auditorium. In 1978 or something like that, Farm and Home Administration moved. They had an office here, and they moved to another location. The Election Commission was located downtown at the New Southern Hotel. Parking was a big problem. Spence Dupree said, I know where there's a place. There's a place that you could use that's empty right now in the Ag Complex. And so the Election Commission came here, and they have an office here. They are growing, and this building and this auditorium is not growing. They have requested to use this building for 17 weeks out of the year, next year, because there are 3 elections. I'm very familiar with that. I would come and I would pick up the election boxes. I would come to the meetings. We would have a meeting, and we could barely find a place for anybody to sit at the training meetings. It's so big. Now we have 2 different meetings, so that enough people, so everybody can come in and be trained. And the FSA pays rent on one of the buildings, and they pay it every month, and they have 24 parking spots that they pay for. So if you come out here and you're trying to do farm business on the day when there's early voting, then you may, or if you work here, you may or may not be able to find a place to park. What I hope that you will consider the needs of agriculture as well as the Election Commission. Agriculture, we just experienced a situation where we went to the grocery store for maybe some of our first time in our life, and there was not the food that we went after. You could not find. You could not find. We're used to going and everything's there. We need elections so that people that are elected to do the work, but we need farmers to do the growing of the food. We don't have farmers here tonight. You know what they're doing? They're in the field. They're working. And what we really need to do, there are plenty of places in Madison County to hold something, but this is the agricultural place. Agriculture is not the stepchild of our economy. The number one, what is it, the number one is
It is agriculture.
the number one industry in Tennessee is agriculture.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Yeah.
I would very much like to continue the conversation. I'm not sure this is the appropriate time in the agenda as we are taking up number 7. Maybe we could do some more time at the end, or was there a specific ask that you were, because
You want to know what I want to talk about?
maybe
I
just 2 more minutes?
Yeah, what I hope that we will seriously look at what the needs are for this building and see if there are other properties that are centrally located where people can come and vote. I believe in voting, or I wouldn't have worked for 20 years. I believe in good, fair elections, but I also think that you don't need to steal from Peter to pay Paul. Does that answer?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Donald, I'm Harold Penny. I'm the one who spoke to you over the phone.
Oh, yes.
And I chair the property committee.
I hear very, very poorly. Excuse me if I don't
So
understand.
this has already been put before the property committee, and we're in the midst of looking at a lot of different things. And we've got 3 or 4 different possibilities that we're exploring. And your issue has already been discussed with Ms. Lott and her election board. And so we're trying to do the best we can right now for what we got for the time of, but it's being addressed, and we're trying to get this thing resolved. It's just gonna take a little time. If you can grant us a little bit of time, that's all we'll be able to get it, okay?
Well, I'm very encouraged,
Okay,
very
good.
encouraged by that,
All right.
and I thank you for your consideration, and I'll try to help find a place, because there's not enough room for people to park when they come to vote. So this place is not adequate right now, and we hope you can find a place that is adequate, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Harold. Any other committee reports?
No, I'd just like to conclude and thank you for bringing your concern to the county commission. But we closed last meeting with a potential remedy for the situation in consideration of everybody, but especially the particular needs that the election commission have. And I'm moving on to proceed with the agenda. Approve the budget.
Mr. Mayor, it's time for the budget amendments.
Okay, we'll try to get through these pretty quick. Start with general purpose schools, $500 contribution. This is new money, adds funds for a church contribution to be used for materials and supplies. Committee recommendation.
All right, we need no second. Any questions on this? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 2, $4,860 insurance recovery. Additional items received for stolen items from maintenance vehicles and for repair work to a damaged bus. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Number 3, $1,400. The FAST grant available funds are being moved to purchase supplies and materials for family engagement. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? Excuse me. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 4, $4,000 Toyota grant. Amendment reallocates funds within the grant to meet the needs of the CTE program through year end. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Number 5, $2,263 CTE amended This amendment allocates funds to allow for the purchase of additional instructional supplies for CTE classrooms. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 6, $973,885. This amendment appropriates funds to cover employee bonuses. Committee recommendation.
All right, any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 7, $50,000. This amendment reallocates funds to cover the upcoming bonuses as well as additional unemployment compensation for former employees. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. All those in, any questions?
These are not new bonuses that have not already been come to the commission of.
Say it again, Committee.
New bonuses for another group of employees that's
Dr.
already been
King,
approved.
do you know, Dr. King?
Oh, the schools.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on the school budget.
Dr. King has given 2 bonuses thus far and a third.
Oh, that's right,
He
that's
gave one
right.
in
Did we vote on that?
I don't think so. And that was a committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Okay, number 8, community corrections, $1,210. Miscellaneous refunds received from comptroller for completion of CCFO classes. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 9, fire department, $1,500 capital fund. This was for the sale of air packs. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 10, sheriff's department, $68,372.80. Goes in general fund, DEA overtime reimbursement, court security grant, Jackson Crime Stoppers payment, SRO ball game overtime reimbursement. Committee recommendation.
No second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 11, health department, PHEP, $43,600 special purpose. The contract amended with $25,000 increase to upgrade RHOC, 3% salary increase, and year-end estimates. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 12, health department, tobacco prevention and cessation services, $34,100. Contract was amended and increased $34,100. Prior employee received unemployment benefits. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 13, maintenance, $8,800. Maintenance needs a new mower as motor blew up on a 16-year-old mower. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Sheriff's Department, $29,000. Transfer money approved from maintenance truck from law enforcement equipment capital to motor vehicle capital account.
The sheriff's department's requested to withdraw that amendment.
Okay.
After these were sent out, they have withdrawn that amendment.
Okay, all right, so strike number 14. Number 15, solid waste, $150, year-end benefit adjustments. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 16, Register of Deeds, $700, travel expenses for the Tennessee Registers Conference. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 17, Finance, $400, moving funds to cover membership dues. Committee recommendation.
No second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 18, Community Corrections, $7,700. Request is made to realign funds where costs have occurred for drug testing, data processing, utilities, and purchase 3 laptops. Committee recommendation.
All right, no questions second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 19, Community Corrections. This request is made to replace 6 desktop computers. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 20, Health Department grant and aid.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we take up number 20 through 33 all at once. 34. Number 20 through 34.
All right, we have a motion to take up 20 through 34 at one time. We have a second. Any questions? Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passed.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just read through these.
You can.
Health Department grant and aid, $7,500. Health Department rape prevention, $4,600. Health Department community health access and navigation in Tennessee grant, $18,700. Health Department tobacco use prevention, $1,800. Health Department health promotions, $9,500. Health Department chronic disease, $2,800. Health Department school dental, $3,700. Health Department HRP, $7,800. Health Department TB, $3,700. Health Department HIV, $5,000. Health Department STD, $3,600. Health Department pre-rep, $16,465. 32, Health Department current services, $38,700. Number 33, Health Department WIC, $11,275. And 34, Health Department rabies control, $26,000.
Any questions on any of these?
Do we have a motion to second on this yet?
Yeah, no, we don't. Do we have a,
We already voted to take them all at once, and these are all a recommendation.
Yeah. Any questions on any of these? All those in favor of approving these 14, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? They're approved.
Okay, number 35, this is assessed to the building department sheriff, $34,996.97. This is from fund balance, it's termination payout for March. Pool from fund balance was $21,962.68, and sheriff comp time, $25,42.85, annual leave, $53,09.67, holiday, $97.53.80. Assessor annual leave, $82.30.26, and building department, $66.73.37. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 36, EMA, disaster relief, $13,100, disaster relief for COVID-19 RHOC EOC operations. Committee recommendation.
All right, no second required. Question?
Mr. Chairman, this will not be a draw on fund balance. I was made aware by my deputy finance director, this will actually come from disaster relief. So it still needs to be approved, but instead of fund balance, it's disaster relief.
Okay.
All right. All right, we don't need a motion there. No second required. Any questions on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Number 37, county coroner medical examiner, $57,345. Number of homicides and drug overdose have increased, and these are for autopsies, and there's being a request made to the DA to try to cut down on the number of autopsies ordered in this. So this is a big number, even over and above their budget. But anyway, the committee recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
All right, no second required. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
And Mr. Chairman, we have 3 amendments that came in after the Financial Management Committee meeting, so I guess we need to suspend the rules to address these.
All right, do we have a motion to suspend the rules? We have a motion by Commissioner Brown. Is there a second? All right, Commissioner Brown has seconded it. All right, go ahead, Mr. Mayor. Well, okay. All those in favor of suspending the rules?
Aye.
Say aye. Any opposed? All right.
The first one's from EMA, and this is a 2020 Department of Homeland Security grant totaling $75,474.
All right, is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
The next one is from Madison County EMA. It's for $8,700, and it, does this come from fund balance, Karen? $8,700. This is for emergency roof repair. They have a pretty significant roof issue out there that they had to get repaired.
Mr. Chairman, I will make the committee aware that he has received his insurance recovery this afternoon and so we'll see to reimburse the county for that.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All right. Any questions on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Then the last one is the highway department, is what Bart just talked about a little while ago. It's a total of $600,000 transferring funds from disaster relief into contracted services to address the issues he just talked about earlier.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve? Second. All right. Any questions on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
That's all we have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Do you have any report to give?
Two short reports. There is a opioid settlement that's being proposed, and Steve may speak more to this than me, but from the companies and the federal court, there is a settlement that's being worked on, and the states, the court is now asking the states to come back with an agreement on this, and the state, as well as the counties and the cities, are working on a formula as far as this money coming in. And that's about the size of it right now. Correct, Steve?
I think that's a fair summary, but there's not a proposal to present. And when we have one, we'll have an attorney-client meeting to address, but that could be sometime still.
Yeah. But it is something the legislature, as I understand it, will consider this legislative session. The only thing I wanted just to give you a little update on our vaccinations within Madison County. There's been a total of 69,562 shots given. That's countywide. That's the health department gave 37,053 of those, and the hospital and private health cares gave the others. We're sitting at 42.2% of our population that's had one shot, waiting on the second. And now we have 29.6% of our citizens that are fully vaccinated. And that vaccination, the state, we're sitting at 42% of one dose, and the state overall sitting at 32%. So I think we're doing an excellent job in that. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Item 10, consideration of resolution to rezone property located alongside the North Premier Place from shooting range to district to C2 General Commercial Center District comprising 5.73 acres or more or less. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman. Good evening. This item was presented to the Freeway Regional Planning Commission, and they are recommending approval of it to you. It is adjacent to an existing C2 zone, so it's just an extension. The gentleman that's asking for the rezone that owns the property also owns the property that adjoins. It's a mini storage operation, and he's just acquiring some additional land to expand his mini storage, do some RV storage later. But that's the reason for the rezoning. And again, the Freeway Planning Commission has recommended it to you.
All right, is there a motion?
If there's no,
Yes, I know it's a public hearing.
yes, sir. If there's no objection from commissioners in that district, I move.
All right, we already had a motion, I think, didn't we? Yeah, and did we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
This is a public hearing, so anyone here for or against has the opportunity now to speak.
My
Yes,
name
sir.
is Mike Cruz, it's my property. I opened a self-storage facility there in 2005 or 6, and as Stan said, this opportunity came up for some additional property, and I don't know anything about running a shooting range, so I thought I'd just go to the business that I'm in. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else here to speak? All right. We have a motion, don't we? Any questions, comments from anyone? All those in favor of approving this, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It's approved. All right, item 11, consideration of a resolution to rezone property located at 10 Severs Road from FAR, Forest or Agricultural, Recreational, and Fringe Residential to Fringe Residential to B3 Highway Business District, comprising of 2.77 acres more or less.
This item was presented to the Planning Commission, and you have the materials pertinent to this rezoning request. This property is located on the corner of Highway 45 South and Severs Road. It's in an area that's already devoted to commercial uses. It's adjacent to an existing B3 zone, and we are recommending the rezoning to you. The proposed use for the property is a used car lot.
All right.
Make a motion that this be approved.
All right.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Since this is a public hearing, anyone that's here to speak for or against has the opportunity now. Yes, sir.
Is that going to be a car lot in that Cedars Road in 45?
Yes, sir, it's a used car lot. That's a
Then I disagree on rezoning.
Yes, sir. What is your name for the record?
Jerry Rail.
All right. Anyone else? Do you have anything else to say, sir?
It's residential now, it's not commercial.
At the present time, it's zoned FR, but it's proposed to be rezoned to B3, which is a commercial class.
Well, we object to it.
All right.
We don't want it rezoned.
Sir?
I don't want it rezoned.
Yes, sir, we understand.
What's the reason?
Is there anything else?
You look out your front door, you go down any car lot, and in the back of the car lot is junk cars. And I don't want to be looking out my window and looking at junk cars all the time.
All right, is anyone else here to speak? All right, we have a motion and a, sir?
No, I was just saying question.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passed.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Item 12, appointment of 10 members to the Risk Management Safety Committee by Insurance Committee with CLB approval. 1-year term, Gary Deaton, Kim Tedford, Doug Stevenson, Tom Rutter. 3 vacant seats, Luther Mercer, Jason Moore, and Eric Turner are the incumbents.
Mr. Chairman,
Just a minute, Doug's up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 10 members that we'd like to have to appoint on this committee. We have Commissioner Dayton, Kim Tedford, Commissioner Stevenson, Tom Rutter. We have 3 vacant seats. We'd like to appoint Chris Guerin, Commissioner Pearson, and Carmita King. We'd also like to appoint Commissioner Mercer, Jason Moore, and Eric Turner. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, you've heard the Motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, it passes. Item 13, appointment of one member to the Madison County Long Range Planning Committee by the Budget Committee, 1-year term. This is a vacant seat.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to appoint Jason Compton from the Budget Committee to the Long Range Planning Committee.
All right, you've heard this recommendation. Is there a second?
Committee recommendation.
Who seconded it?
I second it.
All right. All right, committee that's right. I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, it passed. Item 14, appointment of one member to the Madison County Long Range Planning Committee by the Financial Management Committee, 1-year term, Jerry Deaton, incumbent. All right.
Chairman, Finance Management Committee recommends Joey Hale as committee recommendation to the long range planning.
All right. We have the nomination of Commissioner Hale.
Committee recommendation, yes, sir.
Yeah, committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item 15, appointment of one member to the Madison County Long Range Planning Committee by the Capital Committee, 1-year term, me.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Capital Committee is not meeting until tomorrow, but in an effort to get this taken care of before next month, I'd like to, from the floor, make the nomination to reappoint Arthur Johnson as the committee representative from Capital on the long range planning.
Where are we on this, Mr. Attorney? Can we do this?
You can if you get a second.
Second.
All right, we have a second.
This means we're gonna elect me.
Yeah, that's right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
One thing, we had a called meeting for the Long Range Committee last week, but we didn't have a quorum. But one item we did discuss, now this is not as a committee, and so if we consider this, it'll have to come as a, suspend the rules, but to designate the chairman of the county commission just automatically be a part of the Long Range Planning Committee. So I would ask the commission to consider suspending the rules and just adding that member to the Long Range Planning Committee.
All right. Have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. All those in favor of suspending the rules? All right.
Okay, and number 14, our chairman was replaced, and now we're gonna put him back on there?
Yes.
We're putting a position on it, Mr. Commissioner.
What's the reason for the additional position?
Sir?
I'm asking what's the reason for increased position?
Well,
did he, okay, I guess what I'm really saying, did he say he didn't want to be on, in the slot that he was on?
No, not that I know of.
No, but when this long range planning was set up, there was designations to come from this committee and this committee and this committee. And the mayor, I was one of the designees as far as the position, and so I just think the commission chairman ought to be a designated position to automatically be on long range planning.
All right. Yes, sir. Commissioner.
Did we take that up? Did we vote on that? I'm sorry.
Not yet.
I'll wait to make my motion until we vote on suspending the rules.
All right. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Mr. Chairman, my motion is to allow for our rules to continue to appoint whoever the chair is to the Long Range Planning Committee.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All of you understand what Commissioner Hale has just proposed? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
On 16, sir.
appointment of one member to the Jackson Community Redevelopment Agency by the county mayor with CLB approval, 3-year term, J. Bush incumbent.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Bush has agreed to serve again. I'd recommend his reappointment.
All right.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve J. Bush. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We're down to item 17, election of notaries public. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving notaries public, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item 18, any and all matters related to or connected with matters set forth in items 1 through 17. Yes, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, we got